You are now listening to the Friends of Rugby podcast. Relax your anus. Balls. Thick thighs. Camille Shat. Where's his neck? Eddie Jones. You're fucked, mate. We're nice now. We are recording now.
Hello.
Welcome, friends. How you doing?
Friends of Rugby.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Bit hungover.
Are you?
Yeah.
Did a late one last night?
Yeah, a little bit. Played some pool in a pool hole. Salt of the earth, me.
Ugh.
Yeah.
If you want to see someone bad at pool, it's me.
Oh, yeah?
I can't. I hate it. That and bowling.
Yeah. I'm supposed to start a bowling league in a couple weeks.
Oh, I hate
I
bowling.
suck. It's just for fun, though.
Yeah.
Whatever. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Been watching rugby actually now.
Nice.
Yeah,
We're
it's
back on the
freaked-
wagon.
Yeah. I was even taking notes
Oh,
during games.
taking it
I was
seriously.
like, ooh, I should start doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about it.
Yeah, I probably should.
Yeah.
I think maybe we need to have a section where we do apologies for mistakes we made last week. You know?
People will start calling us out.
We'll just let the fan
Yeah.
filter through the bullshit, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
The one fan who
Yeah.
just ends up working for us, correcting
Yeah.
correcting
Yeah.
everything we
I
have.
think I said Sam Costello was injured for the Six Nations, and then he played last weekend. So I was way off.
Oh, I
That
can't
was
even
embarrassing.
imagine the amount of shit I've said wrong in the last 3 episodes.
You called Lawrence Delalio Lawrence some other Italian last name.
Did I?
Yeah, you were like Lawrence Vincenze or something. I can't remember what you said. It was
Yeah.
funny though.
Whatever. You
Yeah,
live, you learn.
Whatever.
This is a
Doesn't matter.
learning experience. This
Yeah.
is a safe space.
Confident men, they don't need to be right about everything.
No.
It's okay to be wrong.
Yeah. And
You-
I'm wrong a lot.
Yeah, me too. And
Yeah.
I'm happy to admit that.
Some of the games I called, I was right.
You did.
Yeah.
Two accurate predictions last week.
Yeah.
You called the Welsh one wrong. But-
Did I?
Yeah, I said Ospreys would win. You said Cardiff would win. But
Didn't I just say they would both lose?
what? No, what?
Yeah. Just crumble. That'd be
It was a
basically
good
be
game.
draw.
It was a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about it in a minute because we're gonna. Well, we might even talk about it right now. You wanna
Yeah,
do the
let's get
URC
into it. Let's
first?
take a look at these games. There's just been games all over the place in the last week.
Feels messy, eh? It feels like
It
that
does feel
period
messy.
between Christmas and New Year where just turkey farts and comatose people, and that's how the rugby felt.
If you're not paying attention, like a
Mm.
game can slip under you, and that's what happened
Yeah.
actually. A couple of games.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna start at the most recent URC game because
Yeah.
I watched Lions v Sharks.
Oh yeah.
I've hated on the South African inclusion in
Mhm.
URC a little bit, so I thought, okay, I'll give him a chance. And Lions, hell of a win. Like, it was close. I think Sharks missed a last kick.
I was looking at the score. I was watching other games.
Mm.
I was just kind of looking at the score, and then I looked, and I saw the Sharks were up.
Yeah.
Quite a bit, and I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, like, am I gonna switch over to this one and watch it? And I was like, nah.
Yeah. You'd expect them to win, right? The
Yeah.
Sharks.
I was expecting them to win.
Yeah.
And the Lions just came like from behind.
Yeah. And there was a little bit of luck involved because, like I said, the Sharks kicker missed not the easiest kick, but he missed it, and that would have won the Sharks the game. But he missed it, and Lions won. Sharks had Etzebeth back. They had Lucanio Am. They had Mapimpi in there. So
Ooh,
3 World Cup winning Springboks in the team, and
they lost.
they lost. So good for the Lions. That's cool.
What do you think was the most impressive win?
But that one,
You think that one was over the last week?
Okay, well, I think Connacht's win over Munster was significant.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I keep talking up Munster and they keep letting me down. Did you watch that one?
Munster Connacht? Yeah, I did.
Yeah, what'd you think?
I was I was kind of thinking they have so many injuries.
That's true. That's true.
They have just
Yeah.
a lot going on,
Mm.
and Connacht were hungry that whole game.
They were.
Yeah,
Yeah. I want Connacht to do well as well. I want them
I always
to do
wanted
well.
them to do well.
Yeah.
I wanted them to win that game too.
Yeah.
I kind of had a feeling they would win.
How did they? Yeah, I think it's the injuries, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's the injuries. All
Yeah.
right.
And then I thought the biggest win was the Gwent Dragons getting a win.
Just getting a win in anything
Was that their
ever.
first win? I don't know.
I don't think it's their first win this season. No, but it's impressive that they've beat anyone considering their performances.
Oh, Scarlet's got to feel bad for themselves.
And that's the thing. I think Scarlets are... I think, honestly, they're probably worse than the Dragons on any given day right now. They
think
just
so?
do not have a good front row, or, their front five is not competitive at the minute, And I think they've got some good talent in the back line, but they've got some older guys in there. They've definitely got talent, but they've still got Jonathan Davies, who's not young. Got Scott Williams, who's not young in the centres. It's the whole problem with Welsh rugby, right? Like it's hard for me to blame Dwayne Peel because the resources they've got to work with it's laughable in comparison to other teams, So I'm not going to be too hard on Dwayne Peel because some people are calling for his head, get rid of him, get a new manager. But
I think you're kind of downplaying the Gwent Dragons there.
Sorry, yeah, you're right. More to the point.
Yeah, you got to get
Dragons win a game.
More. Yeah, let's give these guys more credit.
You're right. Yeah.
They're going to the top. They're going to the fucking top.
They may beat Zebra. You never know.
Oh shit!
Sky's the limit. Yeah, it's exciting.
There should be like a wooden spoon match for the URC.
Don't, because it would be a Welsh team most years. It's depressing. No, I'm super happy with that. My mother is from Newport.
Oh,
yeah. So happy days. No, actually, she was born in Cardiff. She was raised in Newport. So
Ulster getting over Leinster is pretty big.
Yeah,
too.
you called that one as well. Yeah, you called Connacht. You called Ulster. Those are some pretty impressive predictions, actually.
And Leinster, they rested some players, but they still had a pretty solid team.
One thing that annoys me about Leinster fans is when they lose, they always blame, it was our B squad. And if they win every single time, it's like, okay, when's that not an excuse for you, right? Well, why don't you just, their depth is so impressive that that's never an excuse for you.
The thing I liked about this Leinster-Ulster game was the hindsight calling, all these Irish pundits were like, yeah, I totally called this technique that Ulster was using. They were all they all saw this coming miles away.
Suddenly savants.
It's oh yeah, you guys weren't talking about it last week.
Yeah,
all you gotta do is kick behind them and
that's the secret, is it? Just kick over them like no one's thought of that before.
But Burns for Ulster had a good game.
Yeah, he
was on point. I kind of don't give that guy a lot of credit.
I think we even were a bit mean to him last week. We said he looked kind of tired and old.
Yeah.
And you're right. He's still doing it. So.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit! He almost played a perfect game.
Really,
in my eyes. Yeah, he was just all over. Every decision he made.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was it was surprising. He's
Yeah.
going in Ireland.
Yeah.
I don't know. He could.
Mate, there's about 18 of the 10s.
I don't know what Andy Farrell's. He's got a lot of good problems.
At 10 as well.
Yeah.
Everyone was freaking it out. They were like, 10's going to be the big problem. It's like, no, it's be fine. You got lots of very good experienced 10s in Ireland.
It's a good problem, but it's also he has to make the right decision.
He does have to make the right decision.
You have to go for the right, because there's a lot of guys that can do this job, but the guy that's going to do it the best, that's a big call.
I'm going to stick with what I said a few weeks ago. I don't think it's a big deal because the Irish pack is strong enough that you don't have to be incredible in your first game to keep that jersey. I think they've got a bit of an easy ride, that Irish 10.
Yeah, I'm not. It's not a worrying problem. It's just choosing the right guy.
You're right, because I think I get what you're saying. Picking the right person could lead them to be the next Johnny Sexton, right?
Yeah.
To nail down that shit for years.
Because if he doesn't if he doesn't invest in the right guy, that could the repercussions of that for years to come could be big.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be some, unless whoever gets that jersey in the first Six Nation game has a 10 out of 10 performance, there's going to be a lot of Irish people arguing that it should have been
they're
going
to pick this team apart regardless. Whoever is the new guy.
Yeah.
Because they got a lot of good 10s, but none of them, all of them have something that they're not particularly great at.
Yeah. I would say Prendergast and the Burns in Leinster, they play like Leinster 10s. I think Prendergast has a bit more of a running game, plays a little bit closer to the line, but they all have very good kind of, your quarterback general style 10 game,
That's what Jack Crowley has too, though.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of Irish thing. I think that's all in the mold of Johnny Sexton, right?
But I feel like Jack Crowley, was watching Munster for the last month.
Yeah.
He's one of those players, when they're on the back foot, he kind of fades out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
those Munster injuries aren't helping, eh?
Yeah, they need that guy that can crawl them out of a hole. right? And I don't know which one of those is it. Ross Byrne.
Ross Byrne is what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I think it's Ross Byrne.
Ross Byrne, probably he has the experience to know, okay, we're losing. How do we get out of this? What do we need to do? Start reading the game.
Start kicking.
The other guys might be a bit too young. So Burns, too, at Ulster.
Yeah.
He might be a guy, too.
Yeah. I mean, he's played for Ireland before. You know, it's not new to him.
Yeah. And when he's played fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at that. He's come back into the conversation.
Yeah, even though we were mean to him last week. I mean, it's our conversation though. It's not mainstream conversation. So
it's mainstream conversation. Okay. It has to be.
It's one day.
Everything we talk about, everyone else is talking about all the time.
I hope so. Well, our fan will be happy with that.
What else do we have going on? I think we covered.
I want to talk about the Welsh games a little bit more. Well, I specifically want to talk about Ospreys in Cardiff because it was a really good game. B, hilarious because they had a fan stand in the side of a lorry.
I saw that video you sent me. That was great.
Yeah. And then Morgan Morse, 18-year-old back rower, scored a hell of a try. And I wanted to pat myself on the back because I predicted that Ospreys would win, even though I'm a Cardiff fan.
Yeah.
Because they have a little bit better game management and their front five is just a little bit stronger. But I'm excited for both of those teams. Like, as much as I'm depressed by the state of Welsh rugby, Cardiff and Ospreys could push on, could get some better scalps than just beating each other.
I was looking at their upcoming fixtures.
It's rough, eh?
It looks pretty rough. I thought they got all the hard teams out of the way, but they played each other a bunch. Yeah. And then I was looking at their upcoming fixtures, and I was like, ugh.
Well, here's the truth. If you're a Welsh team right now, every fixture is a hard fixture if you're not playing each other or the Italians. You know?
Yeah.
Like, if I see Cardiff have got to play Edinburgh, Connacht, Ulster, which aren't necessarily in the, always in the final playoffs or whatever, that's still really hard games for a team which has way less money, resources, and ability right now. So they're always going to be hard fixtures. But I think they can get a few scalps. So I'm quietly confident that it's not going to be the worst season ever, which a lot of people predicted. We'll see.
Well, hopefully you're right. I want to see Welsh teams do good.
Do you?
I want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You're a little charitable. I hear a lot of Irish people say that. They're like, oh, we want you to do well.
The pity.
That's why I hate it. It's pity. Yeah, it's pity.
One day you just got to pick yourself up and dust yourself off. And
don't worry, lads. You'll be all right. Shut up.
Should we look at some of these Prem games?
Yeah.
Man, the Prem is just on fire.
It's exciting. Yeah. It's really exciting.
Especially yesterday's games.
Yeah.
I was like fucking glued to the TV.
Yeah. It's sad because when we sat down together and watched Bath Leicester, that was a bit of a letdown.
Yeah, it was.
And now this weekend they've revamped that every single game is mental and exciting. Yeah.
Bristol got a win over Sale.
Yeah, that was good. I watched that one actually.
Did you?
Yeah. Randall had a good game. I felt like they just had more energy. Bristol have a little bit of difficulty breaking a team down and just taking their chances. But I think they showed that they can do that a bit more yesterday. They've still got problems. I don't think they'll win the Premiership. I mean, but...
Looks like Newcastle put up a huge fight.
Yeah, poor little
What
Newcastle.
A fucking waste of a team.
Well...
They just do not give a fuck.
I just think...
That's how I feel about them. They're like,
so?
Fuck it. Fuck it.
That's sad.
Like, I'm pretty sure I've heard that they're under the salary cap in players.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Because I don't think there's any relegation this year.
So so maybe they're just thinking.
Yeah, they're just like whatever.
Yeah, we'll just keep going.
Yeah,
take the losses, rebuild, and get some youngsters in.
It's kind of like baseball in the United States. There's some teams that just have no budget and they're just there.
What's the same in the URC though? It's the same.
Like what? Zebra?
Wales, all of Wales.
They're just there for the fun.
We haven't got any money.
League. We're happy to be here.
Yeah, we're not though. Well, no.
Let's talk about that Chiefs Exeter game.
That was an excellent game of rugby. Eh?
I didn't watch like as much as I should because I was watching the game and then Exeter just started piling up the points.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And then I was looking at the score of Leicester Saracens and it was really tight. I was like, okay, I'm going to watch this game.
Yeah.
So I switched over and I was watching that game.
Yeah.
And then right when it got about like 75 minutes, I looked at the score of Exeter Northampton. I'm like, oh shit. And I jumped over that one. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Should have watched the rest of this one.
Yeah. There was a lot of it wasn't just a physical game, which is maybe what you expect.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a bit of everything, right? There was some forwards tries, some backs tries, and I know we're going to talk about this in a minute, but Feyi-Waboso, the speculation about if he'll play for Wales or England, is only getting spicier after that game.
Exeter have a few Welsh.
Well, I think
gunners in there.
Yeah, a few English teams do though. You'd be surprised, or maybe you wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, we've got in Exeter, we've got Dav Jenkins, Joe Hawkins, Feyi-Waboso, depending on who he picks. Yeah, there's a lot of Welsh players in a lot of the English teams now. You know,
yeah. For these two teams, like Henry Slade has got Borthwick has to pick Slade. He's playing
really well.
Yeah.
I was reading this thing. He said that he was really disappointed not to make the last World Cup because he felt like he was in his prime.
I felt like they needed him.
I think Borthwick's still getting a lot of criticism for his selection. Eddie Jones was getting criticism for his selection before he buggered off, though. So
yeah, because he can't. He's been like the star almost of the league. Besides like Russell.
Yeah.
He's leading that team.
Yeah. He is. I think the thing is though, in a league that size, you're always going to have a lot of arguments about selection just because there are so many teams to have those conversations about. There's more players in the same positions in different teams, right?
Yeah, he's got like 10 teams to pick from.
Exactly.
Instead of like anyone else who's got like 4, 2.
Yeah.
His job's a lot harder.
Like we've been talking about the Irish 10 situation spread out over. Well, we're not even talking about 10s from Connacht or Ulster, are we? Well, I know that's not true, but it's mostly about is it going to be a Leinster player or a Munster player, right?
And Borthwick has to get Finn Smith in there. He has to be in the squad.
I think a lot of people are going to be saying that about Alex Mitchell. I think people are going to be saying that about Don
Alex
Brown.
Mitchell's been in the squad for a while.
He has, but he has. That's true.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if he's in it.
So you're saying people who haven't been selected at all who need to be selected because Northampton are top of the Premiership?
Well, Henry Slade from Exeter.
Yeah.
Finn Smith he's in all the wins.
Yeah.
For Northampton.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
So every win they've had, he's been playing.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's played every game, but he's played in every game that they've won.
And it would be a good choice if you picked Alex Mitchell and Finn Smith because they're playing together weekly. So they'd fit into an England team pretty quickly and easily, you'd think.
Yeah. I don't know if you can start Finn Smith.
No.
But he has to be in the squad.
Yeah.
He has to be in that setup. I think it'd be crazy to not have him.
Well, I think because Owen Farrell's not going to be there, you've just created a bonus 10 spot to have in at least your training squad. So if I was Borthwick, I'd still have George Ford. I know him. I trust him. I know what he can do. I'm not even saying he's bad. I like George Ford.
I have no doubt he's going to be in the team.
100%. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts.
Yeah.
And it's between him and Marcus Smith. And I think they very different game styles, but they're both really good players.
I don't think the Marcus Smith fullback experiment is done yet.
Oh, you don't think it's done?
I don't think it's done yet. I think that's going to be something that's going to be more explored in the Six Nations. That's my call. That's my conspiracy call. I think that's going to be that's Borthwick's Farrell Ford.
He's not that exciting though, Borthwick. No,
but I think that's going to be his. That's definitely his Ford Farrell thing. Is going to be Marcus Smith at fullback. I feel like we're going to see more of that.
You know who's going to play fullback for England though? It's going to be Mike Brown. Did you not see him play the other day?
Dude, he is
Mike
amazing.
Brown.
He's all over the place.
He is so hungry. He's starving. That's why he's so little. I can't wait to see him back.
Man, he was like turning balls over at the line. Yesterday.
Yeah.
That Saracens Leicester game was good too.
Yeah.
Man, Saracens got bullied at the scrum.
Yeah.
I even wrote some notes. Here's my notes from the game. Mike Brown's work rate is amazing for his age.
For his age.
Ben Earls is a cunt.
Oh.
Joe Hayes.
Yeah.
England call up? Question mark.
Okay.
Leicester scrum is pushing the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Joe Hayes guy had a good game too. I was like, who is this guy? Who's this huge guy? And I was like looking him up.
Yeah.
Like where? Because he was like all over the place. And I was like, why isn't is this guy in the conversation?
There's been a few players like that. I remember watching Harry Thacker play for Bristol a couple of years ago. And he just had a game. I didn't really know who he was. He had a game where he was in every single breakdown, scored a couple of tries, line out was perfect, and I thought, why is this guy not in an England
He's
squad? So
fit.
it happens.
Have you ever seen him with his shirt off?
Is he sexy?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ripped. It's like, whew.
So we'll just get him in the England squad for that reason.
If you're hot, you get into the England squad.
I like that.
Yeah, only choose the most buff dudes.
Also, when we inevitably get a Patreon because of our, steamrolling success, I want our extra content to you just be reading your game notes. That was pretty entertaining.
Ben Earls is a cunt.
Yeah, just that. Just these swift bullet points.
Yeah, I was just
do that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I better start making some notes here so I could have stuff to talk about.
I'm gonna have to do that now. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Instead of just making shit up and getting things wrong. Okay.
It's hard though, because then you're like trying to type down this because I was doing it on my phone, putting the note in, and then all of a sudden something's happening, and I'm like, fuck, what happened?
You missed a note.
Yeah. But Saracens kind of like, they had a letdown. They got bullied that whole game.
Well, I remember that game in who were they playing in South Africa where they got pretty much, was it Stormers or Bulls? Anyway, they got like pretty much destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
you and I watched that game together.
We did. I'm annoyed I can't remember who they played in South Africa actually, because we both sat down and watched it.
Just call a team, we'll get it wrong. I think it was the Bulls.
I think it was the Cheetahs actually.
No, it wasn't.
I'm joking.
Fucking Cheetahs. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. No, but yeah, I've never seen them dominated like that before. Mm-hmm. And they're aging out in a lot of positions,
Yeah, I still think Owen Farrell had a good game yesterday, though.
He doesn't have bad games, really.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't have bad games. He's like, I know he gets, I've criticized him a lot for his tackling technique. It's such a cliche to say. He does need to sort it out, but he doesn't have bad games technically, except for some tackles.
I think he threw an intercept yesterday.
Yeah,
but still, he was like, I don't think he's. We'll talk about him later.
Okay,
but. Yeah, he definitely. I thought he had a decent game.
Yeah.
I think you're never gonna not choose Owen Farrell. I feel like
no, you're not.
He's safe.
He's not just safe though, is he? He's good. He is a good
player.
He's good. He is a good player.
He's a safe, good player.
What you think of him?
Yeah, and England hate him.
They do.
People in England fucking hate him. He's like the best player ever.
Yeah. Well, honestly though, there's a few YouTubers and pundity people who are always saying the same thing, that he's very good, and he should be remembered in terms of the all-time greats for England. I don't know if that's strong words, but
the English media seems to fucking hate him though.
Yeah, because everyone is drooling over Marcus Smith. And he's really good. I think England want to have a more expansive running rugby kind of game, but it's not their blueprint.
Yeah, when have they ever had that?
They never had it. It's just exciting to watch. And I think because the Gallagher Premiership, there's a lot of high-scoring games with a lot of exciting backs. They want to replicate that in the England squad. But I don't think it's going to happen under Borthwick, who historically has had a very forward-heavy style of coaching,
Let's talk about that, because the Prem table... Like this is a tight season.
It's the most fun I've had watching the English Premiership.
Actually, that Leicester Saracens game was super important for both those teams for where they are.
Yeah.
In the table, like they both needed that win really badly.
Yeah.
So I think the Saracens will feel pretty shitty.
Yeah.
Not getting those points.
Like it's a kick in the teeth enough that they may not win a final now.
But that Leicester forward pack.
Yeah, it's scary, eh?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
But like it's so tight and so unpredictable right now. Like everyone's beating everyone.
Yeah.
Like I thought we would be talking more about like the URC.
Yeah.
But it's almost like the URC is becoming more predictable right now. And their table, like the table doesn't really show the league on where it's at right now either.
Yeah.
Because if you look at like the table, I think you have Leinster on the top.
Yeah.
And I think it's Benetton.
It is.
And then
it's like
Glasgow
Ulster and Glasgow. That's the top four. I don't know the order, but I think it's
you're
Leinster,
seeing these like
Benetton.
you're seeing Glasgow and Benetton on top. But then when you're looking at like when you dig deeper, it's like kind of a facade.
It is
like
a facade.
Benetton like got some early wins against some teams that were missing their internationals in the World Cup.
They're a lot better, but beating Zebra twice is not a big deal for any good team in the URC, is it?
Yeah.
So if you get a bonus point out of that twice, you're looking good, right?
Yeah, and then just getting a bunch of points from the Wales team.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I think they drew Cardiff actually, which was a depressing game because we'd won that game and then Benetton clawed their way back. And fair play to them, they played well. That's another thing I should say. Benetton are good. They're better than they were.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Glasgow's good, but they're not as good as the table shows.
I know exactly what you're saying. There's been a lot of mismatched games.
Yeah.
And I think when we decided to start wittering about rugby on a Sunday, we said we would talk about URC, the MLR, and we talk about Gallagher kind of third and least important.
Yeah.
And the Gallagher's been way more entertaining this season.
Yeah.
MLR, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
Who fucking cares?
There's other people talking about it.
Yeah,
anyways.
exactly.
They can talk about it.
Totally. Yeah. I'm not shitting on it. Whatever. And I think you're right. Like, I think the URC is less predictable than I thought it would be. And I think Munster not doing as well, not kicking on after winning last season is surprising. And I'm happy to see Glasgow in the top 4. I'm happy to see Ulster there. And I'm happy to see Benetton. But you are right. I think when we get to the business end, it'll probably be 2 Irish and 2 South African teams.
Yeah, once it gets to the end, it's going to become a lot more predictable.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Until we get to the knockout stages.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because the narratives have changed a lot. Like Munster's narrative, like everyone was saying they were going to be the team to beat this year, and now look at them.
I think you're right to point out the injuries have kind of kiboshed them a bit, but yeah, I expected more from them. Remember last season though, they started badly, but this season they're not even middling badly, are they? Like, besides
the injuries, like I said last week, there's some kind of grind. There's a grind missing from them. There's some kind of they're missing this like
a will to win.
Grunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know who they're missing? RG Snyman. Their totem, their talisman.
They've been missing him forever.
Yeah. The morale has just plummeted since he left.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be Leinster's problem soon.
True.
Whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I want to talk about some news.
Yeah, let's get into some news.
Let's talk about the Farrell family.
The Farrell family.
Yeah, the Kardashians of world rugby.
They are kind of the Kardashians, but less drama. More wholesome.
A little bit more wholesome.
Yeah, I think they got a tight little...
Oh, if in a familial sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the field, a little bit spicy, yeah.
Yeah? What are you thinking?
So, well, okay, big news. Owen Farrell rumoured to be going to France, and it seems like every other news outlet can't decide what he's doing and where he's going.
Yeah.
But there's this much speculation. Seems to me that he will go somewhere.
I know he's denied it.
Yeah.
And Racing 92 denied it.
Yeah.
But that came from somewhere.
Of course it did. And remember Eddie Jones denied he'd spoken to Japan? Yeah. Guess where he is now?
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about Owen Farrell playing in France?
Well, a large part of me couldn't care less.
Mm-hmm.
But another part of me likes rugby drama, so I think it's cool, actually. I think that more English players playing in France, kind of, just diluting the competitions in a good way is a good thing. On the other hand, it does point to an English Premiership in trouble, which is another bit of news I want to talk about.
I feel like behind closed doors, like he's thinking about, like he's done enough.
Yeah.
He's done enough for English rugby. He's 32, almost 33.
Yeah, he's served them well. He wants to make some money.
Now, don't get me wrong. I have no doubt he's going to play in the next World Cup.
Yeah, I think he will.
Like, he's got his dad's genetics. His dad played until he was like 90 years old. They played together, I think, for a little bit.
They played at Saracens together, yeah.
Yeah, so I have no doubt he's going to play in the next World Cup. But for him to, like, go get a paycheck from France.
Yeah, good luck to him, eh?
And then get away from the media, raise his family.
Yeah. Like, you can shoulder people in the head every day in France as well. Just knock people's head. They don't care.
Yeah. So it's better for style. So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I think so.
In rugby, your career is short. So you got to make the most amount of money as you can. So
yeah. He's not poor though, is he? Come on. Like, he's probably made a good amount of money at Saracens.
Yeah, especially for all like the 100 Saracens businesses, like all his businesses.
Yeah, he's probably got like 19 properties in London.
Yeah.
So
he's doing well, but
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he wants a rugby vacation. I don't know if the top 14 you really call it a vacation.
A brutal league.
Yeah, they're playing like all the time.
Yeah, it's like a Greek slave ship. Some guy whipping you while you're rowing every week.
And then you're like trying to practice, and the rest of the team's just like eating croissants and smoking in front of you on the field.
Yeah, come on, we're paying you $1 million. Do something. No, it's good. I think it's exciting. It'd be cool to see a high-profile English player in the French league.
Yeah.
But I do, like I said though, I do want to come back to the fact that, as much as we've been talking about how fun and interesting the Gallagher Premiership is this season, let's not forget it's like that because 3 teams have folded and the other teams have absorbed some quality players. It makes it more competitive. But let's not forget 3 teams have folded. Like, financially, what is that saying about the league? And is it going to continue to decline financially even if the quality of games improves?
Can anyone really call this?
No.
Like, it just sounds like everyone's like talking about how much the league is in trouble.
Yeah.
But like, as a fan, like, we can't fans just shouldn't be worrying about that. We can't make those calls. We have no idea what's going on. Like, I didn't see Wasps folding.
No.
I didn't see London Irish folding.
No. Worcester, there was some writing on the wall, but you're right. Those other teams kind of came out of the blue, didn't they? From a fan's perspective, anyway. Yeah.
So there's probably problems all over the place. I know it keeps getting leaked out.
Yeah.
And it's such a distraction.
Yeah, but it's really funny and
it is funny
to talk about.
It
so,
is. It's just,
we live for the drama, don't we?
Yeah, we do live for the drama, and I do like it.
Yeah.
Right? And if another team folds, I'm going to be talking like, holy shit, how did this happen? How did we get here? Oh
Acting all surprised and earnest.
What?
Yeah, like we care.
Is there any rumors of other teams?
No, I don't think so. I think there's been a few teams who've talked about not being in the best financial situation. Like, I think Newcastle talked about it. And so I was reading an interview from Alex Sanderson, the Sale Sharks coach. And there was like a line in it, and he's trying to be generally positive, but right in the middle of the article, it said something like, "This could be the end of rugby." It was something shockingly dramatic.
Dire?
Just in the middle of a sentence, he was like, "Yeah, had a lovely morning, had eggs on toast, and English rugby is going to collapse imminently. And how are you today?" And I'm exaggerating, but something to that effect. And he's trying to be positive, and he's talking about the positive changes and the relationship between the union and the players' representative board and stuff. And he's talking about the changes to players' salaries, as if things are moving in the right direction after a pretty harrowing time during COVID. But it did leave me with the sense that there's stuff going on there that is dodgy and unresolved, and there's financial concerns, So I know you're right though. Like, how do you can't predict it?
No,
from our perspective, from an outsider perspective.
I think there's some positive things happening.
There are,
like those centralized contracts coming up.
Yes,
that's going to help those teams out quite a bit.
It is.
Now, how that's going to be implemented, that could be like a negative.
Yeah.
But on the outlook, like I don't know much more the Prem could do. Like, the product's good.
It is good.
Right? And I just don't know. Like, it's all backdoor financial stuff.
For me, it feels like because they're trying to keep up with wage competitiveness in other leagues, particularly France, they have to pay individual players kind of what you might call marquee fees. And by doing that, if you're paying a player close to £1 million, then if you don't pay him that, he's probably going to go to France.
Yeah.
Right? And then if you lose him, you're losing a high quality player. So they have to keep up with French rugby, basically. And French rugby is in much better state financially by the sounds of it. So,
yeah, that's all I'm hearing too, is how good financially the top 14 is doing.
Yeah. And they've got a very healthy second division.
They do.
It's the only country in the world where we talk about the second division extensively, and where players from our first divisions, i.e. the URC and sometimes the Gallagher, will go to play in the second French division.
Yeah.
Because they can still get a good wage, right? It's the only place in the world that happens. So they must be in a better state financially, right? And I think the attendance for the French league, I think the URC was the highest overall in the last weekend, but I think the French league was second. So they're getting good fan attendance as well,
when I think of like the Prem and all the problems that they have,
I'm
trying to think about what do they need to do different. And as a fan, like, I don't think there's enough rugby content to consume.
That's what we're for, Steve.
Yeah, but from these leagues themselves.
Right.
Like, if you look, they have a blueprint. Like, all these leagues that are struggling, they have a blueprint in the United States. You just have to look at the NFL. What are they doing? The NFL is fucking everywhere. We're in Canada, and the NFL is everywhere.
You're talking about halftime shows, advertisements.
I'm talking about all of it. It's all, like, there's so much NFL content they're putting out.
Yeah.
And
like the NFL as an organization putting out
NFL's organization.
Other companies.
They're constantly revamping how they approach fans.
Yeah.
And they're constantly trying to get more and more content to their fans.
Okay.
And they gobble it up.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. Here's something I'll say about that. And this is speculation and anecdotal based on my life, right? If you go to the UK, football is still by far the biggest sport. right?
Okay.
And it's a global game. You talk about Manchester United, etc.
All right.
They're internationally recognized brands. Rugby isn't as big in the UK as you might think. And it's great to see big fan attendances, but if you go to England, you have to be in specific geographical places for rugby to be as big or bigger than football, right?
Yeah.
And even when you're in those places, there's still going to be 10 kids on the high street in the town wearing a football shirt rather than a rugby shirt, right? It's not as big a game as you think.
But I think the number of fans is still there. Like, how many people? There's a lot of people in the UK that play rugby. They have the highest player pool.
And I
like,
think,
it's in the hundreds of thousands.
But I think that's also because...
So there's a lot of fans there.
That's just a population.
And family members.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it's not big. I'm just saying
think it's like
if you go to the US, NFL is the sport.
Because there's so much... Because they keep targeting the fans. They keep engaging the fans. And I don't think like the Prem, for instance, like engage the fans enough.
Yeah.
There's just not enough. They just don't... Like, what is there?
Yeah, I see. I don't disagree with you. I'm just trying to add some context. So I think if you had, like, there was a show in the UK on TV called Match of the Day, which was like a football highlight show. We loved it.
Yeah.
And I think they could do more stuff like that, like more TV show roundups instead of just the YouTube highlights. But then I think because media has changed, like we don't all just sit down and watch TV on a Sunday.
No.
We all consume it through YouTube.
And I think the leagues in Europe, especially the URC and the Prem, they're relying too much on network channels to do their job. But like, no one watches cable TV anymore.
No, they don't. Yeah.
Right? That's not how we consume. The majority of us consume our media.
No.
Right? So they're making these like big deals, but they're not helping spread rugby.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this channel has all the rights to the footage.
Yeah.
But now that footage is hidden and locked away. Like, you made a lot of money.
Yeah.
But now the game's not growing because no one watches this channel.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Only old people watch this channel. So
yeah. I see what you're saying. And I think they could do more with even merchandise. I find it hard to find a rugby jersey. I find it hard to find even just like a training t-shirt that I could wear casually. I find it hard and sometimes expensive just to like buy the stuff for my team, right? Which in my case is Cardiff, and that's difficult enough. But if when I've been in England, if I wanted to buy a Bristol jersey, you had to go to the stadium to buy it from their little shop, right? It wasn't just in a store in the town,
I think like all of rugby has that problem. Because like when I went to the 2019 World Cup, trying to find merchandise, you'd go to the store, and they had nothing.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, I want to buy a jersey. Oh, we don't have it. And then in France, right, where everything's like right there, nothing. It's
like they're so confident that rugby is for the rugby fans and no one else that they don't want other fans. It's almost elitist, right?
Yeah, I couldn't buy like a Springboks jersey.
Yeah.
Couldn't buy a Springboks scarf.
Yeah.
Where the fuck's the scarf?
Yeah.
Couldn't find an Argentina jersey.
I've been wanting to buy an Argentina. I love Argentina. It's like my second team. If you go online, every jersey is over $100, and I've never ever seen one just in a store. And I think all these different sports companies who make them are so difficult to...
I just couldn't understand how they weren't ready. Or there was like some branding. I know in 2019 with the Welsh jersey, there was, I think it was Under Armour.
Yeah.
So there was some kind of branding thing where they didn't have the jerseys for sale.
Yeah.
I was like, how did you guys not sort this out before the World Cup?
Isn't
like, like hundreds of thousands of fans are going to come here.
Yeah.
And like me, I want to spend money.
Yeah.
And buy this stuff, and I can't buy it.
Yeah.
Like, how were you guys not ready for people to buy things?
I think that's what I'm trying to say as well, is I don't think rugby is a bigger game as we like to think. The infrastructure isn't there sometimes, like it's getting there. It's bigger, but it's not.
I guess, like, I'm a guy from Canada that's trying to do a rugby podcast.
Yeah.
So something's happening. Something's happening,
but it's not buying Argentina jerseys at affordable prices in your local supermarket yet.
I don't even care about the affordable prices. I care about the accessibility.
Yeah.
If I go to a World Cup and I go to your official World Cup store, I should be able to buy the fucking shit that's, that I want.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, we don't have it, or It's sold out. What do you mean it's sold out? It's the World Cup.
They only made 3.
Yeah, we only made 3.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, fuck. Like, I was trying. I went to in France. I was like hunting down any kind of store too that sold rugby stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you find anything?
Yeah, I found a couple. There was one store. It was by the Moulin Rouge.
Oh, in Paris.
Yeah, and it was like a couple of floors
Yeah.
too. But yeah, there was. I was looking for some very specific things, and I
You're
couldn't.
buying sex toys in Paris?
I was like, "Can I get the rugby sex toys, please?" Yeah, and but they had a lot of other random stuff like shorts from a bunch of teams. I bought a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm a fiend for like rugby, like kit stuff. Yeah.
There was when I was last in Cardiff, I was trying to find the most recent Cardiff jersey, but not in the Cardiff rugby store, which I knew I could go to later.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple of rugby clothing stores, and every time I was in there, you'd be going through the rack, and there'd be like the Ospreys training socks from 2007, and there'd be like the Celtic Warriors training hat from 2001 and stuff like this, right? And it was like nothing that I actually wanted.
Bargain bin stuff.
Yeah, basically. Just a whole rack of stuff no one had bought in 20 years, you know? And no one's going to buy it either because it's been sat there for 20 years. So,
were you living here when Scotland played Canada?
I was. I moved here that year, and I didn't know anyone in the rugby community, so I just went with my wife.
So, yeah, we're playing this huge stadium.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, when I get to this game, I'm gonna buy like a Canadian jersey, and I'm gonna buy a Scottish jersey.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like, oh, this could be awesome. Let's see what they have there. Nothing. Not a single fucking item to purchase. I was like, what?
It was a reasonably packed stadium as well.
Yeah.
Like it was 3/4 full.
Yeah, and I just not a fucking thing to buy. I was just blown away.
This will annoy you then. I actually bought an away Canada jersey at that game. I have it upstairs.
Oh, really? Where did you find it?
I can't remember. It was 5 years ago. But yeah.
Because I definitely know you couldn't buy any Scotland stuff.
It wasn't like it was.
I know
I had
that
to go
for
around the
I walked
stadium.
around the stadium.
Yeah, to find this one kiosk, and he had like 3 jerseys left.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was only Canada stuff. They didn't have any Scottish stuff. So.
What else do we have on the news here?
We went off track then.
Yeah, got on a little tangent there.
We were going to talk about.
Oh, I like this
selection. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about.
Immanuel Feyi-Waboso.
Yes. Let's talk about this stuff here.
Okay, so I saw an interview with him the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Born and raised in Cardiff, thick Cardiff accent, right?
Yeah.
So I would hope that he would play for Wales, and I think he will pick Wales. I think he's just keeping his cards close to his chest.
Do you think he has any pressure?
I don't think it's pressure. I think probably other people have told him, just keep your mouth shut for now and see what comes up, because you want to weigh up your options. And yeah, I would want to weigh up my options. But, he went through the Cardiff Academy. He actually left Cardiff not because they weren't going to pick him for the team, but because he wanted to get into medical school, and he actually got in somewhere in England instead.
Yeah, that's what I read about.
So I just read that as well. So, But it was the same with Callum Sheedy. There was a little moment where people were like, who's he going to pick? And he picked Wales. And there was a moment like that with Lewis Rees-Zammit as well. There was a little moment, and he picked Wales, so I think he will.
Oh, the one I always hear about that the English are really bitter about is Redpath.
Cameron Redpath.
Yeah. I always hear him come up in a random like podcast or something. How he's like the one that got away. I feel like Immanuel, like if he chooses Wales, he's gonna be the new Redpath.
The thing is though, Cameron Redpath, if I remember correctly, as much as his dad is Scottish or his parentage is Scottish, he is born and raised in England, so they have at least a degree of saltiness that I can accept, right? Immanuel Feyi-Waboso is Welsh, right?
Yeah, but he goes to school in England.
He does now, like he's young, right? But it's he is a Welsh guy. There's no ambiguity about it, right? He does play in England and studies there. So
I know, like if I was like a professional rugby player and Canada came calling up,
and
then another like England was calling me up, I'd be like, right? I can play for this
fake
fucking
English
mess. Yeah. But like I don't know the financial differences between a player playing for Wales and a player playing for England.
As much as I whine about Wales' finances, I think the Welsh national players get paid pretty good. Maybe not as much as England. Probably
I know England's the highest paid international players in the world. I'm pretty sure.
And I think England probably will do better on average in the next calendar year. But then some of the whinier folks on the internet are saying that Borthwick isn't exactly known for picking exciting backs. So he wouldn't, if he did pick him, he wouldn't be in a game strategy that maybe suited him. Whereas I mean, that's a weird thing to say, though, because Gatland isn't exactly famous for his expansive game style, is he? So it's a hard one. I mean, I'm not too worried about it from a Welsh perspective.
I'm not worried about it either. I'm pretty sure he's going to play if he doesn't get picked for anyone.
Yeah, maybe.
No one picks him.
Yeah.
He should be picked. He's all over the place.
But I was just going to say, you've got to be careful about putting pressure on youngsters as well, right? Because the amount of times we've done this as a rugby community and gone, this kid is lightning in a bottle, he's definitely going to be the next Jonah Lomu, whatever, then they're not.
It all depends on the player, too. Because everyone was doing that with Marcus Smith.
Yeah.
And he's still, there was a ton of pressure for him. This is going to be the new guy for England. And he's still in the mix. Yeah, he still talking.
Yeah.
Everyone's still talking about him.
Yeah, and you've got to remember in Wales, you've got Josh Adams and Lewis Rhys-Zammit ahead of you. Those are world-class wingers.
Yeah.
Right? You're not jumping straight into a starting position. And I think Rio Dyer has been playing well, right?
Yeah.
He's earned I
don't think it hurts to have another guy in there, though.
No, but we've got... I don't think we're short of wingers, is what I'm saying. You know?
I think you have to pick him to lock him in.
That's the thing. So I would feel bad for some of the Cardiff boys who've been playing really well, like Mason Grady.
Just go the All Blacks route. Just giving guys 5 seconds of gameplay.
I mean, I hate to say it. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen, right? Gatland will probably select him, play him on the bench, give him 10 minutes against Italy, just so he can't play for England.
All Blacks were giving 5, 15 seconds, 18 seconds
to the
guys.
Fijians.
These guys are never in the...
just so they can't play for Fiji or Tonga or whatever.
They locked them in, boys.
Got another one.
Yeah.
Good job, lads.
Another one. Yeah, you're going to be an All Blacks for life. Really? Yes, you got to stay here in Super Rugby and play here forever because you're going to be an All Black. 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, fuck you, get out of here.
Oh my God.
There's cab money on the table.
They've all got Stockholm Syndrome as well, haven't they? New Zealand have been so good to me. I'll never leave.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not worried about him. The Reece Roddick talk was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that was a bit more interesting, wasn't it? Yeah. I think
he's... I hope he gets picked.
He's 33.
Yeah.
His dad coached Wales, won as a Grand Slam, so he's got some Welsh pedigree. He was born in Dublin, but he's spent a lot of his time in Wales playing rugby as a youngster.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's unfamiliar with, Welshness and playing in Wales and stuff. But I just don't think... We've got some injuries in the back row, but I just don't... Except for his experience, which is impressive.
Yeah.
Champions Cup, URC, Grand Slams for Ireland, Leinster.
He's it gives you a Peter O'Mahony kind of vibe.
Big hard bastard.
Yeah.
And we could do with some big hard bastards, actually. Yeah. So
he's a good guy to come off the bench.
Yes, that's a good point. And he's got that experience that he'll sort of calm down the youngins. Yeah. It wouldn't be a bad thing. He
looks tough too.
He does. That's what I'm saying.
He's a tough looking dude.
Scary, doesn't he?
Yeah. When you look at him, you're like, fuck, I want to mess with him. He's like a guy outside of a bar.
Fucking punch my teeth out or something.
Yeah. Smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
Saying shit to women, and then some guy's like, "Hey, don't say it to my girlfriend." And then he goes and punches him out. He looks like that guy. Yeah. When you look at him, he looks like a mean motherfucker.
He does. Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks like an angry bouncer. So
I hope that happens. That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. I mean, I don't think Ireland would mind that much either. It's not
I don't
like they're
think so.
short of back row options, is it?
They shouldn't. If they wanted him, they could have chose him.
Yeah. Well, he has played for Ireland, but several years ago, right?
Yeah.
So
just like Jean Klein, right? Well, you didn't choose him.
Yep. Yeah.
Can't say anything about it. He has options.
And and Reece Ruddock is Welsh enough so that it's not like he's an actual South African playing for Ireland kind of thing, right?
Because what are these players supposed to do? Like Jean Klein's supposed to do? No, Box, I'm not going to play for you. And, for a team that could win a World Cup. No, and make a lot of money. No, I'm going to stay in Munster and just play for Munster.
My beloved Ireland. Yeah. You got Razzie on the phone. Do you want to win a World Cup this year?
These guys want to play rugby.
Obviously, he'll win a World Cup.
And if international stage, playing in the Six Nations, I bet you every player wants to do that.
Yeah, of course they do.
Yeah, or in a World Cup.
Yeah.
Or going on a tour. Unless you're guys that have been doing it so much, but these guys that have never had those big opportunities, they all want to do that.
And I think it seems to me from little glimpses I see of players talking about switching allegiances or playing for a country you weren't born in, they're all really supportive of each other, I think.
Yeah.
Right? They all understand that it's a huge honor to play for any national team if you've been, playing the club level for them. It
also puts you on the radar for a Lions tour.
Yeah, you've got to think about your career, right? So yeah, I don't I don't really care. You know, if Feyi-Waboso did play for England, I wouldn't be too upset about it, right?
Mhm.
Like, he's doing what he thinks is best for him, and he has spent enough time in England playing for a good English team to think, well, why shouldn't I play for England and represent them? Fair enough, I don't care. You know, I mean, I'd be upset we've lost a good player, but I'm not going to be upset at him, you know?
Me too.
So
Good for him, fucking traitor.
I mean, I'd say that to you
In the background.
off mic, but you know.
What's wrong?
Yeah.
Fucking traitor.
Judas.
Remember that guy that called fucking Eddie Jones a traitor?
Was he Scottish or something?
I don't know. He was at a game and then some guy called him a traitor.
yeah.
I think it was
It was an Australian.
An Australian fan called him a
yeah.
traitor,
I mean,
and he got pissed.
He deserved that, though, didn't he? He deserved that.
Oh man, he is the Conor McGregor of rugby.
Yeah,
that's exactly what he is.
I love it. All right, so I thought we were gonna, get a bit more.
Yeah, you were
about
worried
that, but we were very civil and normal and understanding of switching allegiances. I think. You know?
Yeah, it is. We're not like a bitter old guy at a bar.
I don't think we're racists either. I think that helps.
Yeah.
You know, because some people are like, if you're born in this country, you play for this country, and you weren't born here, so you don't play for this country. I don't think that's racism, but you know what I mean. Like, there's an element of
I know exactly what you
kind
mean.
of stuff going on there sometimes, which I don't like.
So what else do we got going on here?
I want to mention women's rugby very briefly because the Celtic Challenge is on and happening, and I don't know how to watch it. So if anyone's listening, our fan, please tell me, how do I watch these games? Sounds fun.
I feel like this is a Google away.
I've tried Googling it. I'm not very, maybe I'm not good at Googling it. I don't want to dwell on this. I just want to yell into the void.
Are the games even being televised?
I saw highlights for one of them on Irish Rugby TV. But that's all I can find.
Did it look like a broadcast, or did it look like someone was holding a camera?
Yeah, it looked like someone was holding an iPhone from
So
the
I
corner.
wonder if they're even being broadcast.
Maybe not. But even just some news about it, if anyone knows, I'm literally talking to no one probably, so whatever. I just wanted to say that, go the Women's Rugby Celtic Challenge, and where are you? Yeah.
Then what else do you want to talk about here?
I think have we gone through all the funnest news?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so we're gonna do
another fun thing.
Yeah, we're watching Alex Mitchell play.
Yeah.
And we thought, this guy looks like he works in HR. And then remember the time when everyone was talking about Jamie George? Because he looks like he works in an office.
Yeah.
So we put together.
He looked like, you go into one of those like a Staples.
Yeah.
And then there's Jamie George.
In a white shirt, and a red tie. Hi guys, welcome to Staples.
Yeah.
You'll buy TV, 4K. Yeah, so we're going to do a Lions 15 office workers.
Oh, yeah.
So I think the vibe is guys who kind of look like they work in an office or aren't that physically intimidating despite being very good at rugby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So we're going to body shame. We're going to body shame the shit out of these
now
guys.
you said it like that. I don't want to do it now.
All right. So the least intimidating looking Lions 15.
Oh, now you said it like that. Well, luckily, there are some hard bastards in here.
Okay. Who do you have for number one?
I put Dan Cole.
Isn't he a tight head prop?
Who did I put? Okay, Dave Kilcoyne.
Dave Kilcoyne. Definitely 100% Dave Kilcoyne.
Looks like middle management. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Would look good in not a three-piece suit, just, unbuttoned shirt, blazer and trousers.
Looks like he works at a used car lot.
I think he owns the used car lot.
Yeah, he owns it.
He owns it. But he probably works there.
Dave Kilcoyne, our prices are out of this world. And then who do you got for hooker there?
Well, Jamie George.
Yeah, Jamie George.
That was the easy one. Yeah, I mean, he's long been speculated that he works in HR.
Yeah.
So, it makes sense.
Tight head prop.
Dan Cole.
I got another tight head prop.
Okay.
Dan Cole does definitely look like a math teacher or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he does. He looks like, to be fair, he looks like someone who used to play rugby and then got into teaching.
Yeah, and he always talks about the glory days.
Exactly. Yeah. But he had to retire at 23 because of an injury.
Yeah, he had a knee thing.
Yeah, and he's never stopped going about on this one try he scored against the town over.
Yeah, I got another tight head prop too.
Yeah.
Oh, that should have been on that list. WP Nell.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
What do we got for locks?
All right, so I've gone. Well, no, you chose Ian Henderson.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Because he has a very unathletic looking guy. Looks like a dad.
He does look like a dad he looks like a tired dad who's taking his kids to the game and is just watching.
Yeah, doesn't really want to be there.
And then someone's like, Ian, we need a player, mate. And he's like, oh, fuck's sake. Gets his boots out of the car. Yeah. And then it went for Joe Launchbury.
Yeah, that's a good pick too.
I've seen this guy in real life. He's fucking massive, right?
Yeah,
like
on TV, he looks very unintimidating.
He does. Yeah, he looks like he works for the council.
Yeah.
Like he works for the city, does a bit of office work, then does a couple days on the road in a van, And then we went...
got the back three here.
We got back three. You want to do...
I can't even see your list. You got to do the list here. Read your list.
Okay, I'll read my list.
Yeah.
I've gone Tommy Reffel.
Yeah.
Intern vibes.
Intern vibes for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's kind of...
It's his haircut.
It's his haircut. Yeah.
A lot of it comes down to the hair.
His mum cuts his hair for him.
His
That's the problem.
It's fucking mum cut.
Yeah.
Then who else is on the list there?
Pete O'Mahony.
Yeah, definitely 100%.
It's just something about the face. It doesn't scream rugby to me. Even though he's a big, scary, hard bastard.
Yeah.
He's still...
He doesn't have that bulked up power look to him.
No.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like, he's been in the office for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
He's slid into the background. He's got a wife and kids. He's quite happy. He doesn't want anyone to talk to him. He doesn't want a promotion.
Yeah.
He's just been there a while.
Yeah.
Which brings me next to Jamie Ritchie, who looks like he is hot shit sales.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And he wants to climb. In his interview, he said, "I want to be head of this company." And everyone in the interview was like, "Nice."
He's a real company guy.
Yeah.
We use words like synergy.
Yeah, he comes and sits on your desk while he's talking to you. He's desperate for that team lead position.
Never comes off genuine.
Exactly.
He's ultra nice and stuff, but he's just
he'd stab you in the back in a heartbeat for a promotion.
Yeah,
that's Jamie Ritchie, man. Great rugby player. So I went Johnny Sexton. For 10, but you said Finn Russell.
Oh, Finn Russell's got to be in there.
Yeah,
he looks like a guy because he is the least athletic looking.
Yeah, he's got noodle arms, doesn't
he? You walk into Best Buy and he comes up with his name tag on the lanyard across his neck,
and he's chewing some gum really fast.
Yeah,
chewing your ear off.
And he'll put his leg up on a box, trying to sell you some speakers. 100%.
I put Johnny Sexton in because I literally think he was an investment banker or he was some kind of banking guy before he was going to get into rugby.
A mortgage broker,
something like that.
He gives you mad mortgage broker.
You want to talk to him about kicking techniques, and he starts telling you about his crypto profile. And he's got mortgage broker shoulders. He does. He hasn't got any. Yeah.
What about the scrum half? Alex Mitchell. Obviously.
Yeah, I didn't write it down because this is how we started talking about
the whole fucking conversation.
Yeah, Alex Mitchell just doesn't look like he should be playing rugby.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think he's definitely also middle management for me. I mean, having said that, I watched him play rugby today, and he's really fucking good. So I feel a bit bad about that.
Well, I think everything that we mentioned is really good at
They
rugby.
are really good. They're all international players, I think.
Yeah.
So, but we're going to keep...
And then every single one of these guys would beat the shit out of us in a fight.
Oh, 100%. I feel regret about doing this list. Since we started it, now you pointed out it sounds like body shaming. I've got to persevere now.
Okay, well, let's continue body shaming here.
Okay, let's keep going on the body shame train. And we went Owen Farrell next, didn't we?
Yeah, he's a pretty beefy guy.
His arms, pythons, man. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's really office.
Just office vibes. I think it's the interviews, isn't it? Like
he's the guy that's just too much involved in work.
Yes.
And he's annoying at the office.
That's right.
Because everything's about work.
Yeah. You ask him how
we shouldn't be really talking at the water cooler, guys. We should be really at our desks right now.
Yeah.
It's okay, Owen. Thanks.
He comes up to did you take my stapler?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, borrowed it. I'll bring it. Oh no, please don't do that.
Yeah.
Got that.
It's real awkward.
Yeah. Deadly serious rules guy.
What do we got for centers there?
I went Nick Tompkins next.
Yeah. Okay.
I think he's also. There's 3 interns in this office, and he's another intern.
Yeah.
Just big puppy dog face, eager to please, running around the place. His shirt is untucked.
Mm-hmm.
I think his mum makes his sandwiches. But really nice guy though.
Yeah.
Really nice guy.
Then who else?
Johnny May on the wing.
Okay. Yeah.
Just
Johnny May doesn't give me so much of an office guy vibe. He gives me the guy that is working in the dish pit at Applebee's restaurant.
Yeah.
Like, if you've ever worked in a restaurant,
Yeah.
like the dish pit guys are always the fucking weirdest dudes. Like, he's just always giving you the latest conspiracy,
Talking to himself as he's walking around the kitchen.
trying to get you to listen to these weird podcasts about reptilians and shit like that. Like, 100% that's what he is. He's a dish pit guy.
And you go in to find him and he's not there for 15 minutes. He's not even in the bathroom. He just disappears. And then he comes back and he's just working again.
Yeah, you need him because he's the dish pit guy.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
He's just gone.
Yeah.
And he comes back and he gives you some weird excuse. Oh yeah, my tire was stabbed and I had to replace it. And like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You biked in today.
Or how he like called a number that was shown in a film and it led him to like some. Yeah, he's like complete conspiracy guy. Yeah, 100%.
Then we got Alex Good.
Alex Good would be another used car salesman guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got that used car salesman look. Not shady, but like, you know, he's been working there forever. He started as a kid and he's never left.
I think he flirts unsuccessfully with a lot of women in the office as well. You know what I mean? Just get that vibe. And then I finished with Robert Balcoon, another one of my interns.
Yeah, he'd be the intern.
Just so eager to please.
Yeah,
you know?
rushing around. He's got the coffees for everyone.
He's like freakishly tall as well, but he's still got those puppy dog deer legs. Hasn't quite grown into his body, you know?
Everyone treats him like shit.
Yeah.
Like he's just treated like shit from everyone.
Horrible to him, but he takes it on the chin. He's like, yeah, I'll do that, no problem. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is gonna work out. You know, I just gotta keep my head down and make sure those coffees are bought. And, and then he gets one wrong.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, Robert, can you just get this right?
Yeah. Sorry, sir. I remember doing that again. It was funny, but
it was funny.
I'm gonna get a lot of hate. No, I'm not. No one's gonna listen to this.
We're gonna get canceled for the body shaming. Some of those guys, not all those guys looked like physically average. There's a lot of, you know.
Yeah, they're all big hard bastards. They're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's all I got, man.
All right, should we go over? Let's take a look at these championship games.
Championship Cup predictions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Friday we have Northampton. Bayonne.
That's a tricky one. I think Northampton's form means that they'll go in. That's hard to call, actually. I think Northampton. I think just because they've been playing pretty well.
This is also at home for Northampton.
Yeah. Bayonne are 10th in the league in France as well. So, yeah.
I'm going to go Northampton too with this one.
I'm going to go Northampton. That's not the most difficult one, actually. Yeah.
Lyon Connacht. This is going to be a tight one.
That will be tight.
That's going to be hard to call.
That is hard to call.
It's in Lyon.
I think Connacht.
You think so?
I know it's away. I think Connacht have had I think they've been on the wrong side of some real close games. I think beating Munster will have given them some confidence. Lyon aren't so high up in the. I think they're like bottom or second from bottom in the French league as well, but they have been doing okay in the.
This one is going to be. I'm going to say Lyon's going to win this one.
Home advantage is huge, but yeah, okay. So I'm going to go Connacht for that though.
I want Connacht to win.
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah, but
here's a big one.
Yeah.
Exeter, Glasgow. That's a big game.
It's a big game, but I think Exeter will win that, and I think that because Glasgow just.
Ooh, big call.
You think so?
Yeah.
Exeter. I know Glasgow are up there in the URC, but it's like you said, there's been a lot of mismatched games, whereas Exeter have to beat really good teams every single week.
Yeah.
And I think that will be the difference.
I think Glasgow might edge this one out. I'm feeling it.
Who's home?
I feel like Exeter's had a big few weeks.
They're going to be tired, maybe. Yeah.
This is at home in Exeter though.
They'll win that then. They'll win that.
I think Glasgow's going to do it.
I think that's an easy one.
They're hungry. They're hungry.
I think so.
Okay. Toulon, Munster.
Oh, that's interesting for me because I think Munster need to win this just to get their whole life back on track.
Yeah, I'm gonna think Munster's gonna, and this is in Toulon. There, it's gonna be. I think Munster is gonna.
I'm not saying Munster are gonna win. I'm saying if they don't win this, they're not gonna win anything this year.
Well, if they don't win this, they're not even gonna make out the knockout stages. The one team or two teams that don't make out the knockout stages.
And like you said, they've got so many injuries.
Yeah.
How'd you beat a star-studded Toulon? You know, like that's a.
Toulon's not doing that great.
They're not. No.
So
they're fifth, I think.
feel like this is something Munster could edge out.
Okay.
And I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to do it.
Do a win. Yeah, you're liking the URC teams, eh?
Yeah. All Bristol. Right. Oh, I'm like another one here too.
Yeah.
Bristol Bears versus the Bulls.
Oh, the Bulls, man.
This is in Ashton Gate there, so.
Bulls, though.
I think the Bulls are going to win that too.
Win that, yeah.
Yeah.
no problem. I like Bristol, but they just haven't got the physicality, I don't think.
Next time we gotta start writing down our predictions.
I got this.
Oh yeah, you got this?
I got this.
Okay.
Yeah, easy, man.
Leinster.
Yeah.
Stade de France.
Stade Francais.
Stade Francais.
Yeah.
Did I say Stadium of France?
I think you said the Stadium of France.
It's okay.
Is that what they're playing?
No, this is at RDS.
Leinster then.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Leinster too.
Yeah, Leinster. I think Leinster are showing that they are taking both competitions seriously. They did last year.
Yeah.
But they did rest players in some games they perhaps shouldn't have. And I think, actually, even if they were to rest key players, the depth is even greater this year than it was last year. So I can't see them. I would call them winning most games. I would love to see them and Northampton in a Champions Cup final. That would be a cool game.
That'd be spicy.
That would be a fun game. But yeah, I'm calling Leinster on that one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Ulster Toulouse. Let's do that.
Oh, you're in the. Let's stick with my list here.
Okay.
You're jumping all over the place.
Sorry,
here.
Ulster. We'll be back.
Yeah, we'll be back.
Yeah.
I got Stormers Sale.
Ooh. Okay. Stormers are getting a bit better.
Yeah.
Sale are
good,
but they just lost to. Who did they lose to in the Prem?
It was Bristol.
It was Bristol. We talked about it. Yeah. Which surprised me. Stormers and Sale. I don't know how to.
It's in South Africa too.
Oh, then it's Stormers because.
I don't know how Sale are going to travel.
Yeah.
I don't know the team sheet.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, if I'm going to put my money on, I'm going to put it on Stormers.
It was a coin toss for me anyway, and that home advantage, Stormers in. I'll call Stormers.
Oh, here we go. Cardiff Harlequins in Cardiff.
I love a good Cardiff Harlequins game because those are two teams who love some running, exciting backs rugby, and there's a bit more spice to it because Jared Evans, formerly our 10 at Cardiff, is in Harlequins playing pretty well. So I've got a lot of
no matter what
interest in
happens,
this game.
Cardiff still wins.
It's all win-win. If you beat us for their own 10, it's our win. But I think Quins will win.
Yeah, Quins are going to win this game.
But don't go. I think Cardiff could. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion.
I think it is.
Shut up.
I think it is.
Do you know what? Shut up. I'm changing my mind. Cardiff for the win.
Cardiff for the win by 22 points.
But yeah.
Oh, that happens.
Victory. Yeah. I'm not actually that confident. But
okay, here we go. Ulster Toulouse.
Oh.
Toulouse. It's in Ulster.
I got a soft spot for. I'm going to say Ulster, even though my head says pick Toulouse.
Toulouse is just a rock star team right now.
They are. Yeah, they are. I just want Ulster to win, so I'm going to say Ulster.
Yeah, that's what I want to win.
Yeah.
But you got to make your choices not on who you want to win, who you think is going to win.
Fucking bullshit.
You know?
Fine, Toulouse.
Like, I want Cardiff to win.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do. 100% I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 100% I do. I don't want Harlequins to win.
All right.
But I just know like the strength in between the two teams is, I think it's pretty different.
Okay.
But Ulster, Toulouse, I like Toulouse.
Yeah. I mean, my head says that 100%. And my heart says that actually.
This was
I feel like they'll win. Yeah.
Last game here, this one's going to be hard to call. Bath versus Racing 92.
I think that depends on who's playing, to be honest. Because if Racing play, like, if they got Sia Khaleesi playing, that's a different team. If Bath have got Finn Russell playing, that's a different team. So I'd have to see the team sheet before I made a kind of prediction.
Yeah.
Bath with Finn Russell playing look like they can beat anyone. I'm going to say Bath.
You're going to say Bath?
I'm going to say Bath, yeah.
It's in Bath.
Yeah.
That's going to be a tight game.
It'd be tight. That'd be a good game to watch.
I think just for the home advantage point, I think Bath can pull this out.
Yeah, I think so.
Because Racing 92 is a good team.
Yeah.
But I feel like those two teams are like almost equally strength. So
just going to give you a little stat from the top 14. So Racing are number 1, 8 wins and 4 losses. But Bordeaux also 8 wins and 4 losses. So, and then the next, Stade Francais, Toulouse, Toulon after that is 7 wins, 7 wins, 7 wins.
Yeah.
So it's equally close in that league, right? No one is clearly far ahead. But like you said, I think Toulouse have just a rock star team. Racing also actually have, I'm still going to say Bath. I just wanted to mention that because it's pretty close up there.
We got 2 more games too.
Oh, right.
Yeah. La Rochelle.
Yeah.
Leicester.
That's an exciting game because I think it's Leicester's time to stand up, be Champions Cup winners maybe.
It's in La Rochelle.
Leinster beat La Rochelle not too badly, but they did beat them in the first round, right? So I don't think La Rochelle are as good as they were last year.
I think La Rochelle's going to be angry for this game. I think they're going to take it.
But they do have a big star.
And they're going to match up them physically.
That's true.
This is actually going to be an interesting game to watch. I don't want to watch this game because I want to see how Leicester's pack does against La Rochelle.
Yeah.
I think La Rochelle. I'm calling La Rochelle for this game.
Okay, I'm going to call Leicester just
because I want
contrarian.
them. Not that I want them to win, but I feel like this is like that Connacht Munster. Like La Rochelle are looking for something big here.
A statement win.
Also, another one here: Bordeaux versus Saracens.
So Bordeaux is second, right, in the French league. Sarries are falling. I think they're kind of losing their grip. So I'm going to go Bordeaux.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see Saracens out-muscling them.
No. Saracens have got a pretty storied history in the Champions Cup, but they do seem to be aging out and just sort of losing the edge a bit.
And this is at home. Bordeaux is at home.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a relatively easy choice for me.
Yeah. So that's the games. Oh, man, we got a lot of rugby to watch next weekend.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, we do.
Look at all those games.
Yeah.
And then, then it continues on to next week. And then I think the next weekend after that, it's back to domestic leagues.
Yeah, I think so.
And then we get the Six Nations.
Yeah.
Rugby Christmas.
It's coming up.
Oh, I cannot fucking wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait for these teams to be announced. These like squads.
That's what I was hoping we would talk about.
I thought they were going to be announced next weekend.
Yeah.
Next week we'll be all over that.
Any exciting call-ups you reckon?
I'm just hoping that just from like this weekend there was some people that I thought like definitely need to be in there. Henry Slade, Finn Smith. I thought Joe Hayes should
it was in your notes.
Yeah, that was in my notes.
Yeah. Any Irish selection shocks or anything like that?
Well, Edwin's like injured. So I don't know how long he's out for, which sucks because I thought this was going to be a year for him.
Yeah.
Coming in.
Yeah.
Like I said, Joe McCarthy.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a big Six Nations.
Yeah, he is. I think so.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to see who's going to be the 10 guy.
I really want Leinster's Prendergast to get a call up.
I definitely think Prendergast is going to be in the squad.
Yeah.
He's going to be part of the extended squad or the training squad.
I hope
Definitely.
he will.
I don't know if he'll get any game time.
Okay.
So, and I don't know who. Yeah, Andy Farrell's got some really good, hard decisions to make.
He does. Good, thick, hard.
There's a lot of injuries too.
Decisions.
So,
yeah,
he's got some players that like I don't know how I can't. Is Van de Fleur injured?
I think he is.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I think I read that a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Oh, it's gonna be an interesting thing. What about Wales?
I really want Cameron Winnett to get a call up. He's a Cardiff fullback. I think I mentioned him last week.
What about Immanuel? Do you want him on the team?
I do, but like I said, I'm not too worried about wingers. Like there's some guys at Cardiff who are playing really well, like Mason Grady, who I keep talking about. I think deserves a call up, and probably will get a call up. I think if Feyi-Waboso gets a call up, Gatland, like we talked about, will put him on for 10 minutes just to cap him. And I'm not saying he won't be good. What
about the guys that are playing in the Prem? Any guys from the Prem?
I mean, there's guys there who will get a call up anyway. Like Louis Rees-Zammit will definitely be in the squad.
Yeah.
Dav Jenkins, ex-captain.
I was just going to ask about him.
Yeah, he'll get a call up. I'm sure he will.
How many caps does he have?
Not
too many. Did they get rid of the cap thing?
They changed it. So I think the rule is now you need to have 25 Welsh caps.
Mm-hmm.
But you can play for other teams outside of Wales if a Welsh team hasn't offered you a contract. Which is why this guy, Joe Hawkins at Exeter, got shafted or chose that purposefully. So he was offered a contract in Wales, but he chose to go to Exeter instead, meaning because he doesn't have 25 Welsh caps, he can't play for Wales.
Dumb fucking rule.
Well, it is stupid.
Yeah.
It is stupid, and I don't think we've got the population to do that, right?
South Africa really exposed how dumb those rules are.
It makes sense from some perspectives because if we lose all our quality players in the Welsh regions, we're just going to do worse,
I don't think you're going to have that big of an exodus.
We've already had it in some ways,
Yeah.
though, But I think I think we will, though. I do think we will. I think with George North is going. I think it's going to be a lot of other players who are going to leave anyway. And I think if we got rid of that 25 cap rule, it's going to get worse. I know it sounds pessimistic.
Yeah, but George North is already done enough.
He has done enough.
And
But
how old is he now? He's in his 30s, isn't he?
I think he's the same age as me. Yeah.
So
yeah.
he's got to be he's already in the twilight. He's not the future.
He's not the future.
He's a great player. He'll be
Yeah.
a great player for a while, but you want to start looking at.
But from a Welsh point of view, you want your best players playing in Wales. That's all I'm saying.
Mhm.
And it's not like if Owen Farrell goes to play in France, you've still got 2 quality 10s to replace him, potentially more.
Mhm.
George North goes to play elsewhere. I can't think of too many other international quality centres that are going to be ready to kind of step in at a regional level, So,
Mhm.
what you going to do?
Yeah. Anyways,
Anyway.
I wanted to close up shop here with a little bit of talk. I wanted to talk about some content creators.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I think it's really important to give out some mentions to some guys.
Who do you like?
Because I know when I started watching rugby, I relied on the YouTube guys,
That's
the
still what I
podcast
do.
guys.
That's all I do.
That's where I get the majority of my rugby stuff from.
Yeah, I watch the games and I watch the YouTube's analysis.
God
Yeah.
bless them.
Yeah. Who
Yeah,
do you
so-
like?
Well, let's talk about podcasts. What's your favorite rugby podcast?
I like. I do. Might be controversial. I like the Rugby Pod with Jim Hamilton, Andy. Sorry, what's he called?
With Andy Good.
Andy Good. I keep
And
getting
Jim
confused
Hamilton?
with Alex Good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like those guys. I think. I think they're a bit kind of quote unquote banter, but so are we, aren't we?
Yeah.
But I think it's funny.
That's a good podcast.
It is good.
Yeah.
And I think they're both honest. And what I like about them is, I like to think me and you admit to our own mistakes, and I think they do that as well. They take the piss out of each other when they make those mistakes. I think that's important.
Yeah,
I think
it's great.
there's so many people who take themselves too seriously
Mhm.
in this sport. It is a bit elitist sometimes. So yeah, I like those guys. They can take the piss out of themselves.
Sometimes, Jim Hamilton, how he makes fun of Alex, Andy all the time.
Yeah,
Some guy in the street, Andy Good was in a meeting,
yeah.
and then he's some guy called out him. He's like, "Hey, Andy, gut monster." He was in this business meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a good podcast. Mine for podcast. Do you have an outside the box one? Maybe one that
I've been listening to. I think it's called Pirates Rugby. I think it's a Welsh guy and an Irish guy on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
I like their analysis. I like their focus on Welsh and Irish rugby. 'Cause
Yeah.
obviously that's what I'm most interested in.
Uh-huh.
So I like those guys, and I think they have a degree of experience and background in sports journalism as well. So it's like what I aspire to be in terms of my actual rugby knowledge, instead of just sitting here dribbling and making up names.
Yeah.
So I think
They're professionals.
They're professional.
They're
Yeah.
professionals.
Yeah, they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Which I like. Yeah. And you kind of left field ones?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The one that I really like, La Rouge Rugby Podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they just focus on Canadian rugby,
Yeah.
and they're good.
Yeah.
And it's a Canadian guy
Yeah.
and a Welsh guy.
Oh no.
Yeah.
They filled that niche.
Yeah. They
Fuck.
did fill that niche.
Should I change my nationality or something?
Maybe.
Switch allegiance?
Yeah.
To South Africa.
Yeah. And they also do a way better job than us.
Ah no. Shit.
So it's fucking yeah.
Oh no. I think
We're like the Wish.com version.
no.
It's it's a fucking
With a fucking AI artwork for a
yeah,
picture.
that's what we are.
Shit.
We're the AR one. Fucking yeah.
Oh no, that
I'm
sucks.
just I thought I ordered La Rouge Rugby Podcast. They
Look at
can
these
get
two
us.
fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's exactly what it's like. But no, they're good.
Yeah.
They know their Canadian rugby in and out.
And here's why that's impressive, because me and you wanted to talk about MLR, right?
Yeah.
We were excited about it, and then we just realized A, we weren't that interested,
No.
and B, we didn't know anything about it. So we were like, well, we're going to talk about then.
Yeah. And they do it so much better
Yeah, I'm
than
sure
we
they do.
ever will.
Yeah.
So
Because we're like rugby nerds, but we're not that statistically
No.
knowledgeable, are we? We're
Right,
not that
we like-
deep.
Yeah, we like to commentate on the games.
We're rugby gossips, actually.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we're just
spilling
gossips.
the tea.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We're sat here with our piping hot tea.
These guys know their shit.
I wish we knew our shit, because then we wouldn't have to rely on gossip. But
we will know our shit.
Yeah, we're
trying.
There.
Yeah.
We're getting there. Okay.
So,
Le Rouge
Rugby Podcast is a good one.
All right.
So, like, if you're into Canadian rugby, that's definitely one to watch.
Yeah.
Another one, from Australia.
Yeah.
This is, I don't know how many people know about this podcast. It's called the Rugby Report Card.
Is it the guy who's angry all the time?
No, that's Wild Card.
Oh.
He's a YouTube guy.
Is he serious?
Yeah. He's
okay.
100%. He's great too. But anyways, the Rugby Report Card, it's these two Aussie guys and an English guy.
Yeah.
And it's a great podcast. The quality, like the sound quality and stuff is kind of low, but like they have a pretty entertaining podcast, especially for how much shit they have to go to as being Wallabies fans.
Yeah.
And like, so they've been doing this podcast forever, and the Wallabies have just been shitting on them. So it's like sometimes there are some pretty dark episodes because they're just so done with it, right?
Yeah. And
they got to be the last two fucking Wallaby fans.
Yeah.
In Australia.
Close the door on your way out.
Yeah, but the banter's good.
Yeah.
They're what they call out about the Wallabies and stuff is good. They're knowledgeable.
Yeah.
But it's really I think it's a really entertaining podcast for someone if you're into like when the Super Rugby comes along.
Yeah.
So they don't podcast all year round.
Right.
Which bothers me. But because I want the show. I want the show, but
there's nothing going on in Australia though.
Yeah, they should be doing something. So they'll be like when Super Rugby starts, they'll be starting up, and I think that's one like if you're into Super Rugby and you want like a Australian.
They've got one Australian perspective.
Yeah, so I think it's a good one too.
When does Super Rugby start?
It's gonna start soon, doesn't it?
I don't know.
So, because they're going into winter.
Yeah.
So it's got to start soon.
Yeah.
What about YouTube?
I mean, I like Squidge, obviously.
Everyone likes. Okay, sorry.
That was like.
Who is your favorite rugby YouTube that's not Squidge Rugby? Squidge.
I'm scared to say my 2 cents now because it's also relatively big in the rugby community.
My 2 cents.
I like that guy.
I fucking love that guy. He goes hard, and he's been rocking that whiteboard and magnets for so long.
Yeah, he's got to have a bit more money now, eh?
Every channel has like grown, like
animations.
Yeah, like every like YouTuber, he's just like
he's
fuck it.
The fucking stats on a whiteboard.
Yeah, and he's got his fucking magnets.
And I can't even read him sometimes. So like, what's he written there? Like he has to tell me. And honestly, like I'll say something about when I first started, when I first came across him, it was years ago. He didn't have a lot of followers, and I thought it was very statistics based. It was like, at 22 minutes, so-and-so kicks a penalty. At 28 minutes, so-and-so went over in the corner. And it was like, I thought, this guy's not going to get far. This is fucking boring. But fair play to him. Like, he's genuinely engaging, and he really knows his rugby. I don't want to shit on the guy, because, like, I listened to him a lot. Yeah. But at the time, I naively thought, this is going nowhere.
Yeah.
And now he's like...
God bless him.
Yeah, and I think I found out the other day...
He's a YouTube treasure.
He is YouTube. He also had like this YouTube traveling in China thing, and I checked it out, and it was super interesting. And he like lived or traveled around in China.
Yeah, that's right.
And it was so cool. It was like really interesting, like vlogging kind of travel journalistic kind of thing.
He does, and he makes a lot of videos that are really interesting, like his foreign-born player stuff.
Yeah, like he really knows his stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah, he digs really into a lot of things that you wouldn't think about too.
That's right. Maybe we need to have something interesting and unique.
And he engages his fans a lot. Like I've private messaged this guy a lot, and he's always like gotten back.
I was watching one of his live streams, and he was drinking a beer, and I just put in the live stream chat like, "Oh, what beer is that? That looks fun." And he told me, and he was like, "Hey, Frank, like this beer," and I felt so like, I know I'm rubbing shoulders with celebrities here.
Yeah, you feel special.
I did. I felt warm.
He's a good guy. I really like 2 Cents Rugby.
Yeah,
and he's really he tries to be as objective as possible.
Yeah,
which I really like about him too.
Yeah,
even though he's like a diehard like All Blacks fan.
Yeah.
But he brings everything within the... he's good. He's good. I like him.
I like as well that he obviously thinks about rugby in a global sense. When we're picking our like teams of the year and stuff, we obviously have a Northern Hemisphere bias.
Yeah.
And I genuinely forget about some players because I just don't watch Super Rugby.
Yeah.
Whatever, right? He's always mentioning the odd Welsh player, and I'm like, that makes me feel
he
good.
knows them all.
He knows everyone. Yeah,
no matter what's
what's
the national team, he knows... Yeah. He knows them all. He's good.
Yeah, he is. He genuinely, yeah.
Yeah. His graphics, he doesn't give a shit about like.
No.
At
least it's not a chalkboard.
Yeah. No, it's not a chalkboard.
You know, at least it's a whiteboard.
God bless that whiteboard. He needs to make some merchandise that has the whiteboard on it and stuff, like on a hoodie and shit with the magnets. Like, I would fucking buy that.
You know that emergency broadcast thing, and it's like the little girl and the puppet in front of a chalkboard? He could do that in front of a whiteboard. I'd buy that hat.
He's the Mr. Rogers of rugby YouTube.
Yeah.
Comes in, puts his cardigan on, and changes out his shoes.
It's like a Bob Ross kind of father of...
And you're just watching, like, oh, it's like 20 minutes go by, like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Another one, like I like to mention for YouTube, for like American rugby, there's the Fairweather Rugby Fan. Have you ever seen that?
I have seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like that.
So he's actually, this guy's got an interesting story too.
Oh, yeah?
So he's from Canada.
Okay.
But he's moved around. His parents or his dad is South African. So his channel is heavily on like the Springboks.
Right.
So he talks a lot about South African rugby. So if it's anything to do with like South African rugby, really actually, if you really want to know or like see more content on South African rugby, he is all over it.
Really?
Oh yeah. So more than anything, he used to have a lot of MLR stuff, but as the MLR is kind of like crumbling around, dicking people around and stuff, it's really like turned him off from that.
Oh.
So most of his content is South African rugby, and he does a really good job. He also has a podcast too with another South African guy. It's not they talk about rugby, but it's not a full-on rugby podcast.
Yeah.
So they were doing like facts about South Africa, facts about he lives in the States.
Yeah.
And facts about that. It was like all these random topics, and I listened to a few episodes on it. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
So the Fairweather Rugby Fan on YouTube is a guy that he puts out a lot of content too. So
I've got one more as well. I think it was just called the Rugby Analyst, actually. I think he was. Let me just.
Is he that right. English guy?
Yeah, he's like the
bald English guy.
Yeah,
yeah. His YouTube videos are good.
I like
him.
He's really excited about it all.
Yeah,
you know, and it kind of catches me off guard.
He's done some. I think he's actually done some videos with 2 cents.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like, he's got a decent amount of following, and yeah, I just like him. He clearly just lives for it. You know, he's super excited to talk about everyone, very unbiased.
There used to be 2 of them on that show.
Oh, okay.
Like back in the day, there used to be him and another guy, and that guy kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing about YouTube, rugby YouTube. So when I first started getting into rugby, and I started like searching for content, there was a channel called the 1014 Rugby.
Oh, you told me about this. You tell me about it like it's an urban legend or something.
It is kind of an urban legend.
Yeah.
Like these guys came out and they were in a shed.
Yeah.
And they kind of like took over like rugby on YouTube.
Really?
Like they were, this is before Swidge, and they were the people to watch about rugby.
Yeah.
Because their analysis of the game was insane.
Yeah.
And then they got like, really popular, and then they got actually given a show.
Right. New Zealand.
In New Zealand.
Yeah.
And then they just disappeared.
Into the mist.
They're like Sasquatch.
What happened to them?
No one knows.
No one knows.
Whatever happened to 1014 Rugby? Because their content was incredible. And they kind of just left us. Like they went out and they're like, hey, I'm going to go get some milk and cigarettes. I'll be right back. And then they were gone.
Oh, what?
They were just gone, and their content was great.
Maybe
like anyone that knows about the 1014 Rugby will know exactly what I'm talking about. Like whatever happened, someone's got to find them. Find out. I'm gonna find them. I'm gonna get one of them on the podcast.
That would be cool
to find out like what happened to you guys.
Are we gonna have?
Because there was an Irish guy and a Kiwi guy.
Right, and they both lived in.
And they met at a party.
Okay.
They met at a party, and they were kind of just chit chatting about rugby.
Yeah.
And then they decided to try to do a YouTube channel, and then just took off from there. And then they're on TV. And then I think what happened was, they were on a network. I think they were on Sky.
Yeah.
And they had a show.
Yeah.
And I think they switched over to another station, like Stan Sports. And then something happened there. And then they just never went back. I don't know if they... and the last I've seen, because I tried looking them up, they run a company that does sports analysis, technology, AI shit. I don't know.
Well, that sounds kind of interesting.
But, yeah.
I was kind of hoping they died in a tragic accident and were never seen again. Now I know what happened
they
to them.
walked off into a mountain.
They've got corporate jobs with my starting Office 15.
They grabbed their laptops and rugby balls and walked off into a mountain and never seen again. Yeah, no.
You told me too much. I like the idea that we didn't know.
It is a mystery.
Okay.
Like what happened to 1014 Rugby? There should be a documentary about it. Like people should care more because they were on top of the YouTube rugby world for a while.
Pioneers, eh?
Yeah, until Switch came and like changed the game.
He did change
You
the
know,
game.
he changed the rap game. Like 1014 was there, and they were like the guys.
Yeah, they were the Dr.
I'm surprised you never saw them. Actually,
I as much as I've always been a big rugby fan, I didn't really get into like rugby podcasting and YouTube until around. I think it was Squidge that got me into it. Like he released a video about Steve Tandy, the ex-Ospreys manager. Yeah, and it was kind of like a comedy video, and it kind of blew my mind because I didn't really think you could talk about rugby in that way because rugby reporting and punditry had always been so self-serious.
Yeah,
and it was always the mainstream media.
Yeah,
you know, like what you call a cable show here. So when I saw that, it kind of blew my mind a little bit and realized, you know, there's potential here to talk about rugby in the way that other sports talk about theirs in a much more kind of comedic and a deeper analysis, honestly, than even the mainstream media were doing. So I guess I came too late for this mysterious Sasquatch of a channel, you know?
Yeah. So, whatever happened to them?
I don't want to know now. I don't want to know
where they are. I'm going to try to find them.
No, don't. Leave it. It's an interesting mystery.
I can't move on.
It's like your white whale.
It is.
It's the Moby Dick of rugby.
I gotta find the 1014 rugby. Whatever happened. Someone's gonna listen to this and know. Yeah. Like, oh my god, yeah, whatever happened to those fucking guys.
So if our fan knows what we're talking about,
1014 rugby. Where are you guys?
Please email us at. What's our email?
Oh, our email?
Yeah.
The Rugby Pod.
No, it's not.
No, sorry.
No, it's probably not. I don't think it's the Rugby Pod.
Fuck. Yeah, if you guys have any questions that you want us to answer, or if you want to give us some feedback, or you want to make fun of us, or you know, correct us on all the shit that we get wrong, you can email us at the Friends of Rugby Pod.
There it is.
At gmail.com.
Cool.
Yep. And you can reach us on X.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have
We've got an X, have we?
The Friends of Rugby on X.
Cool.
So I post up our latest episodes on there, and we are also on YouTube. The Friends of Rugby on YouTube.
Yeah.
You want to find us on there, and we're also on all the podcast places now. If there's a podcast place, we're coming up now. Took us a while to figure that out, but now we're there.
That was a ball ache, eh?
It was.
We got there though.
Yeah, we got there. So
the Apple one especially.
Yeah. Fuck those guys.
I think we're going to be demonetized now.
All right. I think we covered a lot.
We did. It was a bit of a meandering route.
Yeah, but I think we covered everything we wanted to.
Yeah. Next week, we're going to have very organized bullet points.
We're going straight 2 cents rugby.
I'm going to make notes on my phone like you did.
You're going to feel the whiteboard through the speakers.
You're going to hear the marker scraping along that plastic.
Those magnets, the magnet snap.
Yeah. We're going to be sat here in random rugby jerseys.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right, friends. Have a good one.
Goodbye.
Bye.